Hey, what's poppin', everybody? Let's go ahead and recap our last slip that was back from Friday, Friday, January 6th. The lock of the day that day was the only one that didn't come through for us. The lock of the day was Kristaps Porzingis over 33.0 points and rebounds. Played well through 3 quarters at 24 through 3 quarters and didn't play the entire fourth quarter. Obviously, they were getting blown out from the get-go versus that OKC team. OKC at home has been a lethal team. They've been shooting the ball like crazy well. Blew out the Celtics, blew out the Wizards, blew out the Mavs yesterday. They're blowing teams out at home. I've been taking them on the spread at home recently because they've just been crushing teams. Kristaps Porzingis just didn't get the time because he doesn't play the entire fourth quarter. The other two guys for us did end up working out for us. We had 2 unders on 2 guys. Evan Mobley under 27.5 points, rebounds, and assists. Thanks largely in part to the fact that he went 0 for 6 from the free throw line. He ends up going under for us. And then Jimmy Butler under 20.0 points. I know that line changed a lot throughout the day. Went down to 19.5. Then before tip-off went up to 20.5. So I got it 20.5, was able to go under that 20.5 line, so just missed it there by the hook. And then he went to the half with 14 points, but only made 3 field goals. He was 8 for 8 from the free throw line, then ends up finishing with only 20 there. So 2 for 1 on that day, another 2 for 1 day. So let's go ahead and get into today. We got 3 NBA plays, so let's get it. Real quick, if you guys are new to Underdog Fantasy, in the link down in the description below, I have a link that takes you straight to the App Store where you can download Underdog Fantasy, because you're going to want to hop in on the action this year. They have added a whole bunch of new features to Underdog Fantasy this year, starting with the brand new insurance feature, okay? This insurance feature is a new thing that has been super requested for the fans and the customers of Underdog Fantasy. Essentially, all you do is you click insurance right here. And if you can see right there, all you have to do is hit 4 of these picks to win, but the value does drop down. So if you turn off the insurance, you do a $10 bet, you obviously get $200. And if you turn on the insurance feature, it drops down a multiplier down to 10. But if you miss one of these picks, say, Jameis Winston gets hurt or something, he doesn't end up throwing 2 touchdown passes. But everybody else hits like Lamar, Jonathan Taylor, Derrick Henry, and Justin Jefferson. All these guys hit. You still hit the slip. You just get it for $100. Just goes down a multiplier, which is a huge feature a lot of people have been asking for, so they received it. Also, they have added second half lines now to games. Obviously, it is on. There is nothing up because there's no NFL second half games, but they have added NFL second half. So just like for the Thursday night game, I'll throw up that clip right here. Thursday night, they dropped all the second half lines for that Thursday night game between the Bills and the Rams. They've added a bunch of new features this year. They're trying to improve to get the app better for you guys. Also, when you sign up, if you use code TAKEMYSHOT, you'll get $100 match, up to $100 match and 100% deposit match on your first time deposit. So if you do that, you can deposit $50 to get an extra $50, $20 to get an extra $20. Whole lot of stuff coming with Underdog Fantasy this year. Make sure you sign up with code TAKEMYSHOT. Now let's get to today's bets. All right, today's lock of the day will be coming from the Boston-Chicago game. It's been a great series between these 2 teams this year. They've matched up 3 times. This will be their 4th and final matchup of the year. Give me Nikola Vucevic today over 11.0 rebounds. He has hit the over in all 3 matchups this season, going for 13 rebounds, 12 rebounds, and 23 rebounds. The Celtics still statistically, we took advantage of this a lot in the early part of the season. The Celtics give up a lot of rebounds to centers. Still statistically sit in the top 8 at giving up a lot of rebounds to centers. Sit 8th right now, giving up rebounds to centers. These two have had close games all year. And when I say close games, I mean they've had games this year where it's been close enough to keep the starters within the game. So they're not losing time because of blowouts or anything like that. These two have had great games all season long. DeMar DeRozan and Jason Tatum have had huge performances. Just going to go with the big man today. I know DeRozan probably will have another huge game today, but we're just going to rock with Vucevic. The key that we're looking for here for Nikola Vucevic is to hit that 30 minutes per game range. If he can hit that 30 minutes range, he's going to easily get this rebound total. They're going to be without Marcus Smart tonight, so that leads another shooter. So that means Derek White is going to be out there shooting a little bit more threes. Jaylen Brown will be shooting a lot more threes, which means a lot more opportunities for rebounds as long as the Celtics don't get red hot and start smacking a whole lot of threes. That's another whole reason why I'm taking this play as well. Celtics have not been blowing teams out recently, and the Bulls have been beating teams they shouldn't be beating recently. Bulls are on a little bit of an up, playing a little bit better of late, and the Celtics have been just playing a little bit mediocre right now of late, aren't slapping teams like they were at the early part of the season. So I'm liking the chance for this game to stay close. Nikola Vucevic to get a fair amount of rebounds today, over 11.0 rebounds is today's lock of the day today. All right, our second play of the day is going to be coming from the man on the back there. We're going to take Giannis Antetokounmpo today, over 44.4 points and rebounds today. Today's been taking on the New York Knicks in New York. In his 2 matchups earlier this season, Giannis had 44 points, rebounds, and 50 points and rebounds. That 50 points and rebounds performance came in New York, so he did do that on the road. New York Knicks are favored in this game by 1.5 buckets, so they are expecting this game to be a very close game. So it's about 221 total, which is what you expect between these two teams. Both these teams are pretty fast-paced teams. The New York Knicks recently are playing very good basketball. Obviously, they've been a little bit of a talk of the NBA recently. They've been showing they're kind of legit a little bit there in the East. And the Bucks are coming off their worst game of the year by far, maybe their worst game in a couple of years, getting absolutely smacked by by the Charlotte Hornets. Giannis coming off his worst game in 5 years. You have to go all the way back to March 18th, 2017, to the last time Giannis did not score at least 10 points in a game. Coming off his worst game in 5 years, the Bucks franchise coming off probably their worst game in 2 or 3 years. They've got to have a big bounce back game here. I don't know Giannis personally, obviously, but I do know that he doesn't settle for bad performances like that. Look for a massive, huge comeback game today for Giannis Antetokounmpo. Over 44.0 points and rebounds should be easy for Giannis today. So give me Giannis over 44.0 points and rebounds. All right, and our third play of the day is a guy that will be making a channel debut. We're gonna head over to the the New Orleans Pelican versus Washington Wizards game today. We're gonna take Najee Marshall today over 15.5 points today versus the Wizards. In all of his 11 Zion-less games this season, he is averaging 29.6 minutes per game and 14.6 points per game on the season. And now one of those games, he only played 18 minutes and only scored 13 points. I'm guessing he must have got injured in that game because it was drastically less. When I was looking at all of his games this season, 18 minutes was drastically less than he's played at any point this season. So I'm assuming he had to have gotten injured in that game because it was way less minutes than he had played at any point in the season. So if you take that one out, take out that outlier game, he's playing well over 30 minutes per game and he's averaging over 15 points per game. So that one outlier game kind of weighs it down just a little bit because it's so drastically lower than the rest. Recently, in his last 5 games, he is averaging 17 points per game, has hit the over in 5 straight games. And he has hit the over in 6 out of his 11 Zion-less games. A couple of those Zion-less games were with Brandon Ingram in the lineup, so obviously that takes a little bit of offensive production with him. But in the games where he has been without Zion and it's just been him and CJ and Jonas, averaging 17 points per game and hit the over in 5 straight. So give me Najee Marshall today, over 15.5 points. I kind of looked at all 3 of those Pelicans guys that they got there, the Najee Marshall, Trey Murphy, Herbert Jones. Looked at all 3. Defensively, the best matchup between those 3 guys is going to be with Najee Marshall. Wizards don't give up a ton of small forwards. They literally stay almost right in the middle of the pack. But they were a little bit better defensively to shooting guards and a little bit better defensively to small forward or to power forward. So went ahead and just take Najee Marshall because he had the best defensive matchup. So give me Najee Marshall today over 15.5 points as our third play of the day. All right, guys, so with that being said, the perfect 3 slip is going to be the lock of the day. Nikola Vucevic over 11.0 rebounds. Give me Giannis Antetokounmpo over 44.0 points and rebounds. And give me Najee Marshall over 15.5 points as our third play of the day today. All right, guys, with that being said, it's going to wrap up today's video. Remember, Saturdays and Sundays, no videos, okay? I didn't just take the weekend off or anything like that. Saturdays and Sundays, it just doesn't work out for me to be able to put together videos. Expect videos throughout the week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Just Saturdays and Sundays, it's just not going to work out for me. Also, track season is coming up. If you guys don't remember, I talked about earlier this season. I am an assistant track coach at the high school here, so Saturdays and Sundays are probably just going to be the best to not have videos on those days anyways, because once the season starts up, Saturdays and Sundays, we're going to have meets, and I'm going to be gone for those meets. So Saturdays and Sundays right now just aren't going to work out in general. So for the time being, it's just going to be the weekdays, Monday through Friday, that I'll be putting together videos. So I'll be here again tomorrow. So I'll catch you guys tomorrow, Tuesday, and I will catch you tomorrow. Peace.